Hey crafty people, welcome back to my channel, and in case you're new here, I'm Sarah, also known as Craft Nerd because I'm a nerd who loves to craft. I do paper crafting, card making, junk journaling, and mixed media art. Let's get crafting! Welcome back. It's time for another Mass Make Monday. And actually today's going to be more of a mass decorate than a mass make, because if you saw Friday's video, I'm working on getting my bee journals finished. And I need lots of stuff to go in pockets. So today we're going to play around with making a bunch of journaling cards. So I've got out on my desk, and you can grab whatever you got in your stash if you want to play along. Some of the backgrounds that I've done, this was the Distress Hexagon Technique video. These are digitals by FabiArtStudio, and what I tend to do for these are full-size journal pages, and I print them out 4 to a page and then cut them out, and they make a good size for a journaling card. And these are some master boards I created using digital papers and scrap bits of digital papers, and I've backed some with some Amazon packaging and some with coffee dye paper, and I actually created these in a magazine. I've seen a lot of crafters on YouTube do it. I'm not entirely sure I love the whole doing collage in a magazine because it adds an extra step because you then have to do something on the back. I think I much prefer just collaging straight onto coffee dyed paper, but I figured I'd give it a try. I like how it keeps it all together because it's all in, you leave the magazine intact until you're going to use the page. It's all in a nice compact location, but I don't love the fact that I've got another step in that I've got to add paper to the back to cover up the back of the magazine page. So I don't know, but that's what I did for these. So we're just gonna have a good old time decorating these guys up to go in our journals. So I'm gonna start my timer. We're gonna see how many we can get done in 45 minutes. I can speak, really I can. All right, so let's start with, let's do a few of these first. And I may still go back in and back these with some paper to get them a little sturdier. I did print them out on 60-pound hammer mill color copy paper, I think is what it's called, and it's what I use for the pages in my journal. I'm gonna round my corners, and punches prefer thicker to thinner, so I'm just gonna double up and do 2 at a time. And these guys, because they're kind of collagey to begin with, don't need a ton of work, but I do like to add a little bit to them to make them my own. So let's grab, first let's ink our edges, and I've got, where's the number I want? Oh, you know, I think it's back here. I'm like, yes, it is. I've got brushed corduroy on my desk, so I'm looking for the brown Distress Oxide dauber I have. So I'm just going to use that to ink the edges up, just to cover up the white, because I don't know how well you can see there's white showing from me not cutting it out perfectly. So I've said it before, I say it again. Inking is completely optional. I like to do it because it gets rid of any imperfections when I have cut something out. Like on this guy, I think you could really see there's a white line there. And look, it's disappeared. And I'm just going to use a variety of bits and bobs from my stash for decorating these up. Let's see, for this these two, let's pull out some numbers. So these are just numbers I have stamped using a variety of Tim Holtz and Stampers Anonymous stamps, as well as some Creative Expression stamps. Let's see, I think I want one of those. Maybe one of those for the other one. I'll grab my scissors. And yeah, I just stamp on scrap pieces of paper, and I cut most of them out because these are so thin. I didn't cut them out figured I'd wait until I'm gonna use them. I'm gonna set those aside and maybe try using the other ones up. I'm gonna do that, and it needs some other stuff. Let's figure out what. And I am grabbing, this is some 49 in Market washi stickers. Let's go with this one. I think what I'm gonna do is just go ahead and stick this down, going like so. And I'm thinking I'm gonna grab the bulb clip off of here and scoot this over to this side, and I'm gonna add the bulb clip on there. Oh wait, first, what I wanna do is, you know what, I'm grabbing antique linen. If I can find where I put it. I put stuff away. So I'm going to take both of these and knock back the white by brushing on some antique linen. So Friday, I went to Epcot with my friends for the Flower and Garden show is currently going on. And that's when they have out a variety of character topiaries. And it's really cool, and it was a lovely, well, we had a lovely day. Weather-wise, I would not necessarily call it a lovely day, because it got up to, I think, possibly a record high for this time of year, if not pretty darn close, because it was 93 degrees out. Very little bit, like, and not much cloud cover, so it was hot during a variety of times during the day. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and stick, yeah, let's hold off on that for a sec. All right, this one I'm going to put the bulb clip on it. Actually, I think I may, yeah, let's do it like that. Eek. Probably gonna add a little glue to the bulb clip because it's not as sticky as it could be. I'm just burnishing it down to knock away any white from the outline on the bulb clip. Yes. I want to do there, but I think I want something else over here. I'm not sure what. Okay, so we're just gonna set that aside for a sec. Yes, so it was quite nice. We didn't ride too many rides. Now, granted, there aren't a ton of rides at Epcot, but ooh, the lines these days, I swear, I don't remember when I was a kid going to the parks and the lines being quite so insane, in that very few things are less than under an hour. Let's see if I've got something in with all my bee stuff that I like the idea of. No, nothing's talking to me there. So maybe one of my Junk Journal Studios yellow labels. Where's the yellows? Here are the yellows. How we like that one. I think I like that. All right, let's ink these edges. And then pull out our art glitter glue. But yeah, so we got there and we ate at a variety of the little kiosks that they had set up. We started our day with, let's see, what did we do? We went and got a peach and honey, I forget what it was called, like a peach cobbler freeze or something like that. It was essentially a peach ice cream with a crumble on top. It was quite tasty. So that we all three of us decided we liked the sound of that one, so we each got one. Then we started going, you know, around the Showcase of Worlds, and we went to Germany, which my friend Allison, because I went with my two friends Allison, they're both named Allison, so I went with the Allisons. And okay, I think that's done. See, I'm just gonna add for like these, because there's so much decoration, I just like adding a little bit to personalize them and make them mine. But my one friend Allison is learning German, and so she likes to go to Germany so she can talk to, because usually at Epcot in their world pavilions, they have kind of like a foreign exchange student type scenario where they have people from Germany and Austria who speak German, who will, you know, engage in conversation with guests in that language if they speak it. So she always likes to go and practice her German. And I actually took German in high school, but I only remember a very little bit of it. Okay, so that one's done. Let's pull over one of these. And I think this one may end up getting backed just because it's a little curly up type thing, but I'll probably do that off screen because, well, that's kind of tedious and boring and not necessarily something you want to watch. And I've got sitting out, this is from one of my one of the digitals for the Bee Journal. So I think I kind of want this, and I'm actually, what's calling to me is doing a Tim Holtz person on this. Let me go find one. Kind of sorted them out kind of by size, and I think, let's see, because what I'm thinking is that I've got $49 in Market laser cut elements. Why not stick a bee on the flowers? Kind of like that idea. And now I need a label to go under his feet, so let's find something to stand on. It needs to be a little bit bigger. That'll work. And I feel like I want to add some more inking to this. So I'm going to pull this over and grab my antique linen again. Kind of tamp back the white. I'm also going to round the corners. Let's go with my biggest on this one. Just because when you're putting stuff in and out of pockets, the sharp points, one, have a tendency to get damaged, and two, have a tendency to like catch on things more so than a rounded corner. So like that. That. And I'm gonna set him so he's standing like so, and we'll put that behind like so. And I kind of want to grab so I'm grabbing a Copic marker in pink because I think I want the flowers to kind of pop, and that might make the bee pop more. So I'm just grabbing an alcohol ink based marker, and I'm gonna color these in. So yeah, we stopped off at Germany, so Allison can practice her German, and then we also went to the kiosks outside Germany and got potato pancakes, or I did, and one of the Allisons did. Let's see, what else did we? Because it was mostly about snacking and wandering around and chatting and popping in and out of the shops, more so than going on rides. So we swung by America so that my friend who is learning German, Allison, could get some gumbo at the kiosk there. And we took a few minutes to sit down and relax because, yeah, I am no spring chicken, and full day at Epcot's kind of rough. And then, let's see, we finished, oh, then we went to France because I wanted to try, like, all the things at France. So they had a duck confit, which, duck is one of my favorite foods, but you don't find it all that often on menus. So it's kind of one of those things, like, most of my friends will know if we go to a restaurant, if they have duck on the menu, I will order it. My other favorite that is a little bit more common, but not like all over the place, is lamb. But because duck is less common than lamb, duck trumps lamb. But my friends all know this about me. So like if we go to a restaurant and they see either one of those on the menu, they know automatically what I'm going to end up ordering for my meal. So they had that. They had a croissant filled with goat cheese, and it had like a some kind of like garlic cream thing on top, and the duck and the croissant were really good. And then they had for a dessert like creme brulee or brulee beignet filled with pastry cream. That one I did not love as much as the duck and the croissant, because so the topping was supposed to be brulee, so it was supposed to be hard sugar, but because of the heat it was more like melty caramel, which wasn't really a problem, although it did make it very messy to eat. And then my problem is that the beignet was warm and the cream was cold, and it just didn't work together all that well, having the really cold cream all of a sudden. Like I would have been fine if the beignet was less warm than it was, perhaps. But yeah, I did not love it because there was a disconnect, I think, between the temp on the beignet and the temp on the cream inside. I mean, it was tasty. I ate it, but not exactly my favorite. And let's see, what did we actually go on ride-wise? We did Soarin'. Trying to think. I think that might have been the only ride we went on. Well, and then I'll get to the end of the day ride issue. And then I think at that point, around about that point, we wandered around a little bit more. I mean, they do have a butterfly experience. All right, so I like that. That guy is done. So I'm gonna set that one aside. Let's grab this one and round our corners again. They have a butterfly experience, so they've got a little area that they have like a beaded curtain, and it's a tent which was full of butterflies. I mean, just chock full of butterflies. So that was really cool. And we wandered around the new, I forget what it's called. I'm gonna ink my edges. It's like the life cycle of water, and it's inspired by Moana. And it's, you know, got interactive water areas so that you can get wet, but you aren't necessarily going to get soaked if you don't want to, kind of thing. So that was quite nice given the amount of heat going on. Did some shopping. I got a pair of Figment pajama bottoms because Figment is one of my favorite Disney characters. Although I do not love the Figment ride anymore. So back when I was a kid, and I'm trying to decide what I want to put on this. Let's see what I might have lying about. So I've got these clusters. I might want to use one of them. So when I first went to Epcot, we came down from, I was living up in New York as a kid at the time when I was in like high school. Ooh, that one's kind of talking to me. I think it needs maybe some book page behind, some ripped book page. So let me grab some of that. We came down, and that was the first time I experienced, you know, Figment. We did Epcot, and I loved Figment. Got a stuffed Figment doll. May have gotten a shirt with Figment on it. It was all about Figment. But the last time I went and rode the Figment ride, they changed it. Because when I came and I was a kid, and I don't know how long ago it was, they changed Figment. It was, let's see, how do I want to do this? All, like, you know, the animatronics that Disney's kind of famous for. The Figment ride was, you know, that. And then at some point they changed it so that there's a lot more video elements to it. And I just didn't care for it as much with the video elements versus the animatronics. And I am going to make this a little more jaggedy. So we did not go back on it because I was like, I'm very disappointed by it. All right, this definitely needs grunging up, but I think once I do that, this one will be good. And so what I think I'm gonna do is, oh, was that 2 pages? Did I rip 2 pages up? I did, I apparently had 2 pages stuck together, so I'll have to use that on something else. I am gonna grab a brush, and I think I'm gonna do brush corduroy. Hopefully we'll like this, and if not, we've got an extra one. I'm gonna start off the page and just come on and do that. So yeah, we didn't ride Figment, but we hit the Figment shop because I wanted to check out the Figment stuff and got myself a pair of really soft Figmenty pajamas. And we wandered around a whole bunch. One of the topiaries they had over by England was Winnie the Pooh and Friends, and I am a big fan of Eeyore, so I got a picture of me in front of the Eeyore topiary, which made me very happy. Let's see, what else did we do? Oh, we ate in one of the restaurants in Italy, which, oh, probably the best thing I ate all day, for dinner. So we went and had dinner while we were waiting for our numbers to be called for our queue because they do a virtual queue for Guardians of the Galaxy. and you have to get into the virtual queue to get on the ride. So while we were waiting for our number to be called for that, we went and had dinner. And we went to one of the restaurants over in Italy, and oh my goodness, I had a braised short rib with lobster ravioli. It was a little pricey, I will admit that. It was definitely one of those I decided to splurge because I saw it on the menu and went, ooh, I really want that. All right, I want some Scorched Timber. I want to darken the edges on this, and I think I got it out on my desk. Yay! I'm just going to ink our edges on this with Scorched Timber just to make it stand out more against the book page. So it was braised short ribs with lobster ravioli, and the lobster ravioli came in a like brown butter and rosemary sauce. It was so good. Oh, it was delicious. And then we wandered back over towards Guardians of the Galaxy because we were anticipating that our number was going to be called soon-ish, because, you know, it gives you estimate times on when you're going to be called. So we headed back that way. And the Allisons decided they were first going to do Mission Space, which I was not inclined to go on because I do not like fast rides, roller coasters, those types of things. And if you are familiar with Guardians of the Galaxy, yes, we're getting to that. That type of ride, and I was like, I'm not going to do that. And the wait ended up getting long again, so they did Test Track, and I was like, I'm not really in the mood for that. And by the time we had walked over there from Italy, I was like, I kind of want a little something sweet for my dessert. So I got one of the kiosks had fried cinnamon roll bites. They were delicious. They were topped with like some candied bacon, and they were filled with like a berry compote. They were quite tasty. So I did that while they racetracked. And then by the time they were done with the racetrack, okay, let's pull something else over. Let's do one of these guys. Let's do this one. And again, I'm gonna round corners. Maybe just do a little round on this one. Let's mix it up. So we go over to Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, at one point during the day, we had discussed my whole aversion to taking a cruise for a vacation because I get motion sick and was on a boat once when I was a kid, and it was a very unpleasant experience. I was sick the entire time we went on a whale watching cruise, and the other problem with the trip was that we weren't spotting any whales, but they were getting reports of whales being further out. So we kept just going further out and further out and further out. And oh, it was a miserable day for me. And it's had a lasting impression. And I know everyone tells me you don't feel the water, the movement of the boat, the way you do on something like that. And I'm like, I just cannot get over the mental block. All right, let's find something to go on here. I know it's a full-on mental aversion, that it's, you know, I would probably be fine taking a cruise, but I just can't get past that experience. So we're talking about that and the fact that I tend to get motion sick, and I am not, you know, surprisingly enough, I actually like Tower of Terror, which we were talking about, which seems very odd to me because it does not, seem like a ride I would enjoy, but I actually do. That, or maybe that, no. Don't put that, but that. Kind of like it. I think we're gonna go that way, but I think it needs something else as well. Not too much flour. like too many flowery elements together kind of thing. I think I want a stamp. Question is, do I have a stamp the right size? All right, not there, but probably in here. I just said too many, and I'm thinking of doing one of these by the Digital Fable. Maybe not that one. I think I've got more stamps in here somewhere. Those are too bright. Sorry, I'm flipping through trying to find what I want. Oh, there we go. That's what I was looking for. Yeah, I think I like that. So we had discussed this, but apparently it just flew past my friend Allison's brain, because she was insisting that, you know, that Guardians of the Galaxy was the best ride at any of the parks, and she just loved it, and it was so great. It's like, okay. I get on it, not realizing it's a full-on, like, indoor roller coaster where the thing goes up, down, round, spins, all sorts of stuff. Oh, it was not good. I did not enjoy that ride at all. And it's funny because the way the cars are set up, it's each car has 2 rows. And I'm going to do a little additional trimming on this one. For things with such delicate parts, I tend to wait until I'm going to put it on to do that kind of trimming up, just so that it, you know, stays intact until then. But I'm first going to add my antique linen to it. Yeah, it was bad. I got off the ride and they're like, "Oh my God, are you okay?" I'm like, "Why would you do this to me?" And she's like, "I didn't realize." She felt so bad. And you know, I survived. Oh, I used the wrong brush on that. It'll be fine. So I'm just gonna go around the drops of honey. So yeah, if you do not like roller coasters or fast-moving rides, do not do Guardians of the Galaxy. It was very unpleasant. I did not enjoy. But now I know, and we'll never do that again. Yeah, we get off it because several years back we went to Universal and did Harry Potter, and there's a Harry Potter like Quidditch ride thing that I'm a big Harry Potter fan. I really wanted to give it a try. I was like, let me try it. My sister's like, "Oh, you should be fine. It's not that bad." Oh, it was horrible. Like, and Guardians of the Galaxy, worse. So yeah, because I at least, you know, was able to watch some of the stuff flashing on the screens before you on the Harry Potter ride. No, with the Galaxy, I have no idea. I did not see anything. I was just like, oh. So yeah, I would not recommend. And then driving home. So that was the unfortunately the last thing we did at Epcot, and I was feeling it. It was rough. Well, not technically the last thing. We popped over to the Disney, like the shop towards the exit, so that we could pick up a few souvenirs, which I got myself an Eeyore keychain, because yeah, Eeyore's my favorite Pooh character, so I got me some Eeyore on this trip. And then we headed home. Well, headed our separate ways to head home, because we did not drive together. We each arrived separately because we're all coming from different spots. My one friend lives down near Tampa, so she had a bit of a long ride, although she got home in pretty good time. She didn't hit anything too bad. She hit all the traffic on the way up there. Like, she had a less than fun drive up to Epcot. I'm just gonna trim off whatever's overhanging and add this guy. And, you know, traffic was bad, like, getting onto I-4, which if you're not familiar with the Central Florida area, I-4 is pretty much the main highway through the Central Florida area, and pretty much, unless you're full-on back road in it, is the way you go to get to Disney, which is part of why I don't go to Disney all that often, is because I absolutely loathe driving on I-4. So there was a bit of traffic when I first got on, and then it cleared up and it was fine. Pretty much after you get past Disney. So it's the traffic of people leaving Disney, because they're all leaving at pretty much the same time, because, you know, the park, we left pretty much at park closing. Actually a little bit after, by the time we finished our shopping and stuff, so, and got ourselves together and hit the ladies' rooms and that sort of thing. All right, that one's done. Let's pull over one of these guys. So I hit a little bit of traffic there, but it was fine after that, and I'm driving home, and I'm about halfway home, and I'm on I-4. As I said, not a big fan of driving on I-4. Ooh, that's coming up. Let's glue that back down. And while that corner's drying, let's round this corner. I think I used this one. No, I may have used the really small one. Let's go in and make that one bigger, since can't go smaller. That should be good now. All right, let's do that. It's not fully dry, but close enough. All right, let's figure out what we're gonna do on this guy. No. Figure I've got the, what I think I'm gonna do on a page edge. This is too big. Well, that's too blendy because I use these scraps. None of those. Okay. Let's see. I've got one of those, but he's gonna need something to go behind him to make him pop more. So I think he's gonna need some inking. I'm leaning towards this. This guy's definitely needs some inking. Let's do some brushed corduroy on him to make him a little less bright. So as I was saying, I'm about halfway home. I look down at my dash. My check engine lights come on, and that always freaks me out. So I'm driving, begging to the car guards that they just let me get home. Oh, you know what I think I may do? Pull this piece over, put him on, let's do this and this, and actually grab a different color. I'm gonna grab my Fossilized Amber, and I'm gonna use Mr. B as kind of a stencil. And I'll probably come back and add some more of the brushed corduroy on top, since I'm now Fossilized Ambering him, because I had this idea as I was adding the ink, because it just leaves a little bit there. And maybe do them down here. You know what? I'm gonna grab my Wendy Vecchi Make Art Station, because that will let me hold him down with some magnets, and I can ink away. Oop. Just adding a little bit of interest to the background. It's very, very subtle. You can barely see it, but it does add a little bit of interest. So let's do one more. And I'm gonna come back in and add some more brown to him. Then let's ink our edges, and I think I'm gonna go Scorched Timber. Scorched Timber dauber if I can find it. Where is it? Oh, there it is. And I'm going to be very gentle because this is antique book page that I'm using. All right, let's get Wendy Becky out of the way and pull over our piece. That there, him going like that, still not popping enough. Having a bit of a think here for a sec. I feel like I need something, that I need to like put him on something lighter, trim around, and then put him down so that you can really see. Wondering if I did him on like there and trimmed it out. Let's give that a try. I'm just gonna add a little glue. Yeah, so I had a less than fun drive home because I was worried about my car like dying on me on I-4 at night. I've already had vehicles die on me on I-4 twice before. One time I was driving home, this was a really long time ago, because I was driving home from my bridal shower, and my car, which we were aware that the repair was going to be needing to be done on the vehicle in the not too distant future. Like my father had been setting aside, I think, money to cover the replacement of the engine in my car. Because yeah, at that point I was driving an 87 Toyota Camry, and I'm just gonna roughly cut around the edges, and I will probably do some brushed corduroy ink on the edges. And that was probably 1998, I think. Might have been 97. I don't remember when. Must have been beginning of 98 because I got married in 1998. And so I was driving along on I-4 and it threw a rod. Thankfully, I had a cell phone at that point, because for anyone who's on the younger side who might be watching this, cell phones were not all that common at that point. Like, they were still a novelty in 1998. So I luckily had a cell phone because my mother insisted I needed a cell phone if I was going to be driving on major roadways. Okay. I'm liking that better. I think what I'm going to do is bring over my brushed corduroy and kind of go over the whole thing again so that the white's a little less white. And then I'm going to lightly go over it with the Fossilized Amber to get the bee to pop again against the less white background. I think that's what I'm going to like. So yeah, this one's getting a little fussy, but you know, the whole idea is play around with things until you like them. And you know, sometimes you do a little bit of this, you do a little bit of that, you do a little bit more, and eventually you get to the point where you're like, yes, that's it. All right. And I am going to ink the edges with the brushed corduroy. There's that, and I'm going to stick this over here. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. I think it needs a label. Let's see, will this one work that's sitting on my desk? No, it's too big. Now you may or may not notice the fact that I tend to do my clustering decorations on stuff in groups of 3 or other odd numbers. I think that'll work. And that's because odd numbers are more visually appealing than doing things in even numbers. And so I tend to lean towards, if I add 2 elements, I'm gonna go look for a third, and I'm kind of wanting to do something else on here too, like have him and then have something up here using like my washi stickers. In which case I'm going to add 2 more elements. This is a new roll of washi stickers, obviously, since it's come on. And we're getting close to time, so we're probably just going to finish this one up. And I'm thinking I may want to do this washi sticker poking out from behind our bee. And there's time, and let me just finish this one up, and oof, there's smudge on the back. So I'm just taking that off because that's preventing it from like fading in the background. Where's my bone folder? I'm just gonna try and get that to go down all the way. Not working great, but that's okay because I think I'm gonna grab another little bee. And I'm trying to decide if I want to do that in a washi sticker or cut apart or a laser cut. Let's see. Let's put him on there like so. All right. Whatever we're doing, it's going to be up here, so I can go ahead and add this and this. I'm okay with it going off because this is 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces, so we need a 5th. All right, so the question is, do we add this little bee? Or do we add a sticker bee? You know, I'm not mad at that. I think we're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna put this piece down. That's gonna go down. We're gonna add our little bee, and I'm gonna grab my tweezers to hold him so that it's a little bit easier to deal with. And I'm actually gonna do him this way, and he's gonna cover up that little bit that didn't go down very well. So there we go. Let's do some ink on the edges of this. And let's see what we managed to get done this time round. So we got this one. Let me put my stopper and my glue. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 journaling cards finished. Not too bad. Definitely need to speed up my working speed on getting these guys done, since I gotta do a whole heck of a lot of these guys. But that's all for today. If you enjoyed this video, please do all the things that lets YouTube know you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave me a comment down below. Thanks for joining me, and happy crafting.